Vishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Bando Mudi Savadai Mati Bando Mudi Savadana Mati Sahara Prasadi Vai Ibaba Todiya Jahan Ibaba Todiya Jahan Krishna Prati Ho Jahan Krishna Prati Ho Jahati Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Tititi Koriya Kya Arana Koriyo Mani Asha Arana Koriyo Mani Asha Guru Charani Rati Aise Uttama Gati Aise Uttama Gati Prasadi Puri Sarva Asha Prasade Puri Sarva Asha Bhakkodana Diloji Jami Jami Prabhuti Bhakkodana Diloji Jami Jami Prabhuti Devegani Rejo Prasito Devegani ज्ञानिर्दुप्रसीतो प्रेमा भक्ति जहावती अविनाशिना सजति प्रेमा भक्ति जहावती अविनाशिना सजति जहर चरितो जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आगमा नजर बंधु करुणा सिंधु राजमा नजर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु राजमा नजर बंधु तुमके ना तुमके राजीवाना प्रभु करो दया दियो मोरे पर दया प्रभु करो दया दियो मोरे पर दया देवी रास्ता दुख से भुगाना देवी राज से भुगाना अबू पाना शराना जया प्रभु पदा जया प्रभु पदा जया प्रभु पदा जया प्रभु पदा जय। गुरु पूज की जय।
Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Thakur ki Ananta Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Paramsikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Purushottam Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai. Ganga Maya Jamuna Maya ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Srimad Tulsidev Maharani ki jai. Shri Yogadharma Harinama Sankirtan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Books Distribution ki jai. Brihat Mridanga ki jai. Shri Shri Paramakarntai Gaur Chandra ki jai. Samaveda Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premananda. All glories to the assembly of devotees. All glories to the assembly of devotees. All glories to the assembly of devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shanyavari Pashacharishtare. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only ways which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scripture sings of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, please be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over 3 worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet. You are the savior of the most fallen. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्त परिदेवी सच नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्त परिदेवी सच नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्ति परिदेवी सच नमो नमः। तुलसीराम की जय। नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रिय नमो नमः। Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Diya Bilasi. Tumara Sharanalo Tarang Vancha Purna Ho. Pagore Goro Tari Vrindavanavasi. Naya Evo Sara Yoga Ruparasi Ini Vidanadaru Sakyanu Gata Koro Sivari Karadiye Koro Nijadasi Dina Krishna Rasiko Jai Namuraho Radha Govinda Premi Sadai Navasi Shri Radha Govinda Premi Sadai Navasi Namo Namah Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namah Yani Kani Chapa Pani Brahma Saritani Cha Tani Tani Prana Santi Parikshina Pari Pari Tani Tani Chapa Pani Brahma Karitani Cha Tani Tani Prana Santi Parikshina Pari Pari Yani Kani Chapa Pani Brahma Karitani Cha Tani Tani Prana Santi Parikshina Pari Pari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Tuti Maharani Jaya, Tuti Maharani Jaya, Tuti Maharani Jaya, Tuti Maharani. Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, तुलसी रानी की जय। श्री वृंदाए तुलसी देवाय पिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्त बलि देवी सच नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय पिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्त बलि देवी सच नमो नमः। श्री वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय पिय केशवर च विष्णु भक्ति बलि देवी सच नमो नमः। तुलसी रानी की जय। O Tulsi, beloved of Krishna, above you again and again. My desire is to obtain the service of Shri Radha Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has a special fulfilled, bestow your mercy on him. You make him the resident of Vrindavan. My desire is that you always grant me the resident and present grove of Shri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, in my vision, I always behold the beautiful pastime of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make the follower of the Korodam cell of Braj. Please give me the privilege of devotion service and make me your only servant. This very form and love of Krishna praise may always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Tulsi Rani ki jai. Jai Tulsi Devi.
Hare Krishna. So this morning we'll be doing one bhajan, Arundaya Kirtan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So let's read the translation. In the meantime, Satyagopal Prabhu, you can get the lyrics on screen. Odila Aruna Purabhabhaji. So the translation as follows. When the eastern horizon became tinged with a redness that heralds the rising of the sunrise, the jewel among the Brahmanas, Lord Gaura Sundara, immediately awakened. Taking his devotees with him, he journeyed through the towns and villages of Nadia. The mridangas resounded tatai, tatai, and the jajas, large metal kartalas that looked like small cymbals, in that kirtan played in time. Lord Gauranga's golden form slightly trembled in ecstatic love of God, and his footbells jingled. Lord Chaitanya called out to the townsfolk, quote, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping, and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouths with the holy names." So everyone, we can say, Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, chanting without offense. You have achieved the rare human body. Don't you care for this gift? If you do not worship the darling of Mother Yashoda now, great sorrow awaits you at the time of your death. With every rising and setting of the sun, a day passes and is lost. Why then do you remain idle and not serve the Lord of the heart? You should understand this essential fact. Life is temporary and filled with various kinds of miseries. Therefore, Carefully take shelter of the holy name and remain always engaged in His service as your eternal occupation. Desiring to bless all living entities, the sweet name of Krishna has descended to this material universe and shines like the sun in the sky of the heart, destroying the darkness of ignorance. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name of Krishna and thus satisfy the soul of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There is nothing except the holy name within all the 14 worlds. The button is on the screen. Odhilo aruna pura bhavagi Dvijamani gora amani jage Odhilo aruna pura bhavagi Dvijamani gora amani jage Bakat samuha loya sate Gila nagara bhraje Bakat samuha loya sate Gila nagara bhraje Tatai tatai bajulako Gana gana tahe jajiraro Tatai tatai Preme dala dhala sonara anga Charane nu pura bhaje Charane nu pura bhaje Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bole na bolare vadhana bhori Miche nida bashe gelore rati divasa sharira saje Miche nida bashe Emana dhurlabha manava deho Paya ki koro bhavan ke ho Ebe na bhajile Yashoda sutta Chara me puri belaje Odita tapana hoile asta Dina gelo bole hoy bebyasta Tabe ke no ebe alasa hoy Na bhajare dhoya raje Jivana anitya janah sak તાહિન નાવિરાવિ પરવાર নামাশ্রয়া করে যাতানে তুমি তাকহ আপনা কাজে নামাশ্রয়া করে যাতানে তুমি তাকহ আপনা কাজে জীবেরা কল্যাণ সাধনকাম জগতে আসে মধুর নাম अविद्याति मेरा तपना रूपे हृदगगने विराजे कृष्ण नाम शुद्ध कोरिया पान जुराओ भक्ति विनोर प्राण नामाभिनो किछु नाई कारो चोराबो वनमाजे ओधिलो अरुणा पुरा भागी द्विजामणि गौरा मणि जागे ओधिलो अरुणा पुरा भागी द्विजामणि गौरा मणि जागे बाकता समूह लोया साथे गिलनगारा ब्राजे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Jaya Paramakaruna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Paramakaruna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra
Jaya Parama Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Parama Karuna Jaya Nitai Gaura Chandra
Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai
Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai
Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva
Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada Hare Krishna. So we want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you for today's Sunday Love Feast. So as we would have announced last week, on the 22nd, which will be Friday coming, will be observing Gita Jayanti, and then from the 25th or 26th, we'll begin the 9 days chanting that we will usually have every year end. So as for those of us who are gathered here today, we can use this opportunity to more and more imbibe our consciousness and try to reflect on over 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna, he imparted this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in Kurukshetra, and that place is still present in India today, as a place of pilgrimage. And of course, we see that the chanting of the holy names, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir anyata. So it is proclaimed that in this age that we are living in, or when we say age, we're actually referring to the time that we are all living in. The best and the best thing to do is to always sincerely call out on the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no alternative, there is no other way. So when we come in gatherings, when we come together in congregation or in satsang, to chant, it is very easy because everyone is doing the same thing. The momentum, the mood, everything is there. But when we are by ourselves, it is much more difficult. So that's why we will say that we should use every bit of our time when we are here to spend it wisely by chanting, by clapping, by hearing the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So continue with some more chanting, some more kirtan by Har Kirtan Prabhu. So he will lead in the chanting and all of us will join in the chorusing. So everything, as you know, there's always a science or a know-how, how to perform. So the chanting, it is like that. The first thing we do is Shravanam. We hear what the other person chants. And then we, will chant in chorus. And when we chant, we're supposed to hear in what we are chanting. Let's say if we chant Hare, one word, we're supposed to hear that. We're supposed to attentively listen and hear that Krishna, Rama. So that's the technique, that's the science in the chanting. So we are saying all of this because when the 9 days chanting comes, and every day we'll be doing so many hours of kirtan, we should understand that how we can actually maximize our time in kirtan, and that is by really making an effort to just be here, just be in the kirtan. I don't mean for us to just sit here in the kirtan, but to actually imbibe the chanting in the form of hearing and reciting the mantra. So Har Kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila
Nitai
Prabhupada.
Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaur Hare Bol.
Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki
की जय जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
Jai Radha Hari
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
यशोदानन्दन ब्रजजान रञ्जना
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
यशोदानन्दन ब्रजजान रञ्जना
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana
यमुनातिरावनचारी
Vanachari
यमुनतिरावनचारी
Yamunatira Vanachari
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So this morning we'll be hearing a presentation by His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. So Amarendra Prabhu, as you know, is one of the young stalwart of our Hare Krishna movement. Born and grew up in India, but in recent years have been residing in the US and have offered tremendous service in sharing the message of Krishna consciousness, preaching from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so forth. So, as we would have mentioned earlier, as we are gearing up for the advent of Bhagavad Gita, we'll be hearing a presentation where he explains the glories of the Bhagavad Gita, referencing Gita Mahatmya, which was written by Shripad Adi Shankaracharya. So we'll be here some very exciting insights on the power and the glory of Bhagavad Gita, so that we ourselves can become more aware and we can able to utilize and take advantage of the message of Bhagavad Gita to transform our lives, our consciousness, our minds, and at the same time to share with others around us, to help others to also benefit from this message. So over to Amarendra Prabhu.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सह गणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सह गणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So let us chant with a very a set of famous verses called as the Gita Mahatmya, composed by none other than Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya, who has given this very beautiful, wonderful, unparalleled glories of the Bhagavad Gita in the Gita Mahatmya. Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, as we know, has composed these 7 verses, and they very beautifully describe the glories of the Bhagavad Gita. Gita Shastram idam punyam yah patet payatappuman Vishnu padam avapnoti bhayashokadi varjitah. Sripad Adi Shankaracharya says, Gita Shastram idam punyam. Idam Shastram, Gita Nama Shastram Punyam. This scripture called as the Bhagavad Gita is pure and purifying. Just like the sun. You see, the sun can evaporate a pool of clean water and a pool of dirty water. The sun doesn't take sides. The sun equally behaves with so much affection and love. It evaporates the good water and the bad water from the pool of good water and the pool of muddy, dirty water. And you can see that pool of muddy water is not just evaporated by the sun. Point number 1, it's evaporated. Second, it becomes clean. Point number 3, this doesn't stick on the face of the sun. It's not that when the sun evaporates dirty water, the place becomes clean, but the sun becomes dirty. It doesn't happen like that. Just like when you see, when there is some dal or some sambar or some rasam that is on the floor, you can take some clean cloth and clean that place. So what happens? The floor becomes clean, but the cloth becomes dirty. So in this world, we see the cleansing agent, the cleaning agent, the cloth which is used to clean the dirt, takes the dirt to itself. The surface becomes clean, but the cloth becomes dirty. But the sun is an exception. The sun is not like that. The sun remains pure, and when it evaporates dirty water, the place becomes pure, but that doesn't mean the sun becomes impure. The sun remains pure. So point number 1, the place becomes, the dirty water gets evaporated. Point number 2, the place becomes cleaner than before. And point number 3, the sun doesn't get affected by it. And point number 4, how all this happens and where does that go? Nobody knows. So similarly, when the sun of this world can have these qualities, what to speak of the very divine, effulgent, radiating, knowledgeable sun called as the Bhagavad Gita. Gita Shastram idam punyam. All 4 things happen even with the Bhagavad Gita. When we come in contact with the Bhagavad Gita, the dirty, muddy pool of water in our consciousness, in the form of lust, in the form of anger, in the form of greed, in the form of vengeance, in the form of pride, in the form of all of these duplicitous, deceitful qualities that we hold in our heart. All of those muddy pool like water, the contamination of our consciousness gets evaporated by the sun of the Bhagavad Gita. Point number 2, the place becomes very clean and pure. This is why we see when someone studies the Bhagavad Gita, reads the Bhagavad Gita, practices the Bhagavad Gita, speaks on the Bhagavad Gita, and is somehow or the other in contact with the Bhagavad Gita, we say, oh, he's a pure soul. In the Ahobila Mutt in South India, you have a concept called as seer. The greatest sadhu or the sannyasi saint is called a seer. It took me a long time to understand that it wasn't a Tamil word, it was an English word. Seer is someone who sees the truth. Just like in English we say S-E-E-R. He's the seer of the truth, right? So similarly, when someone is in touch with the Bhagavad Gita, point number 1, the contamination in his heart is taken away. Point number 2, he becomes clean, and therefore he becomes jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. he becomes the seer of the truth. He becomes purified. The place becomes pure. Point number 3. Now, just because we are reading the Bhagavad Gita and we become pure, doesn't mean the Bhagavad Gita becomes impure. The lust and greed and anger of our heart gets transformed or transferred to the Bhagavad Gita. No. Just like the sun remains untouched, even the Bhagavad Gita remains untouched. And 4th point, how this happens, nobody knows. In our Srimad Bhagavat Puran, which is the last work of Veda Vyas, in the 2nd volume, 8th chapter of that work, the concept of how this happens has been explained. Shrunvatam shraddhaya nityam grinhatam cha swacheshtitam kalena nati dirghena bhagavan vishate ridhi pravishta karnarandrena swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam krishna salilasya yathasharat. It has been described just like you can take a glass filled with muddy water, and if you have to clean that the substance in that glass or in that cup, then what you do, you just run it down pure water. So then all that dirty water gets replaced in no time, and then lo and behold, in some time, you see in a few minutes, the good water has replaced the bad water, and what remains in the cup or that glass is pure water. Bhagavatam describes that's how Gita or Bhagavatam or the Shastra work. When we keep hearing, when we keep practicing, when we keep speaking, it's an inflow into the consciousness of purified water. And in no time, the dirt of our consciousness gets replaced by the purity of what we are listening to. So this is why Adi Shankaracharya starts the Gita Mahatmya by saying, Gita Shastram idam punyam yaha pathet prayatah puman. But however, it is pure. But to access that, prayatah puman, we have to put some hard work. What kind of hard work? Bhagavad Gita is not simply a Shastra just to be memorized. Yes, it is a Shastra to be memorized, no doubt about it. But it is not only to be memorized. It is not a Jnana Shastra. It is a Vyavahara Shastra. Vyavahara Shastra means it is to be practiced. Like, for example, when Krishna says, you offer a flower to me. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanah. We find in chapter 9, text 26, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 4 simple things. Just offer me a flower, a fruit, little water. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. 1 fruit, 1 flower, 1 leaf, little water. With devotion, bhakti. Tadaham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanah. Then I will accept that which is touched with devotion. Krishna has mentioned these 4 things. So now, for us to memorize the sutra is wonderful. But when I walk around telling people, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmana, it doesn't make much sense. If I tell someone, you offer me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or some water, then I will accept the devotion behind. Doesn't make much sense. But because these verses are spoken by Krishna, then it is worth memorizing. But we don't stop there. Not just at Jnana Shastra, we go ahead as Vyavahara Shastra, which means now we implement it in our life. Therefore, that needs some prayasa, some hard work. Therefore, Adi Shankaracharya says, yeah, pathet prayatah puman. You have to read it and implement it. And when we implement that, what happens? Vishnu padam avapnoti. No doubt, you will get the Vishnu pada. You will get the position of the lotus feet of Sri Hari. And bhaya shoka adi varjitaha, without bhayam, without fear, without shoka. Shoka means lamentation. You see, our lives, our pran shakti is like a bird which has 2 wings. And the 2 wings are future, past. Future, past. Either we have shoka, lamentation for what happened in the past, or we have bhaya about what is going to happen in the future. Adi Shankaracharya says, when you study the Bhagavad Gita and you practice it properly, then what happens? The more you approach Sri Hari, you approach Vishnu Pada, then the 2 wings of the bird of the anxiety of the future and lamentation of the past are both cut, and the bird is happily situated in the present. Aradhito yadi hari tapasa tatakim, naradhito yadi hari tapasa tatakim, Antarbahi yadi hari tapasa tatatkim. Nantarbahi yadi hari tapasa tatatkim. Vedavyas, Krishna Dvaipayana Vedavyas has very beautifully described. Aradito yadi hari. If you have worshipped Sri Hari and if you have attained Vishnu Padam, tapasa tatatkim, then what is the need for any other tapasya? Because you have attained your goal. And na aradito yadi hari tapasa tatatkim. But if you haven't worshipped Sri Hari, then what is the use of all your tapasya? Antarbahi yadi hari. If you have Hari inside and outside, tapasa tatatkim, then what is the need for any other austerity? And na antarbahi yadi hari. If you don't have Hari inside and outside, tapasa tatatkim, then what is the use of all your austerity? So Bhagavad Gita is that path of austerity which impresses the heart of Sri Vishnu, Sri Hari. After that, Sripad Adi Shankaracharya says, Gita adhyayana shailasya pranayama parasya cha naiva santi hi papani purva janma kritani cha. We are always worried. Oh, my purva janma, dushkrit or sukrit, sanchita papa or punya. What has happened in the past will come and haunt me. The good that I have done, shubha shubham, as just described. Karma shubha shubham, as described by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. When we do good, we get good. We do bad, we get bad. So whether we do shubha karma or ashubha karma from past life, it will come and haunt. It will, either give us good fruits or bad fruits in the future. But Sripad Adi Shankaracharya says, Gita adhyayana shilasya. If someone studies pranayama parasya with a lot of sincerity and internalization, naiva santi hi papani purva janma kritani cha. Don't worry, your purva janma papani cannot touch you. And the example is also very interesting. Let's say you have a rope and you set it on fire. What happens? The rope which is around, let's say it's placed on the ground, it goes around like this. You set it on fire. What happens? The rope gets burnt and the burnt ashes are now in the shape of a rope. But what is the difference? The rope could bind. But the shape of the ashes, which is in the shape of a rope, it looks like a rope, feels like a rope, but cannot bind, because as soon as you touch, it'll fall apart. So all of our past reactions, sinful reactions, what happened? They look like ropes. They can bind anyone, because when you don't follow dharma, yaha shastra vidhi mutsrujya vartate kama karatah nasasiddhim amapnoti na sukham na paramgati. When we don't follow shastra, then reactions will come. It will not let us live happily in this world or in the future. But when someone studies Bhagavad Gita and internalizes the Bhagavad Gita, then the rope gets burnt. And now it looks like a rope, but it cannot bind the jiva. It cannot bind the atma, because the atma becomes jivan mukta sa uchyate. He becomes liberated while being in the body. Just like we can see, let's say I go to speak about the Bhagavad Gita to prisoners, let's say in a prison house. I may enter the prison house. I may physically even be inside a jail, but the rules of the jail don't work on me, because I may be physically in the jail, but I'm not a prisoner, right? I can walk in and walk out whenever I want because I am free. But the prisoners cannot do that because they are bound by the rules of the prison. So similarly, when someone studies the Bhagavad Gita and internalizes the Bhagavad Gita, they will be in the karagraha of this world, but they are not touched by the sattva rajas tamas of this world. They are not touched by the adi daivik klesha, adi bhautik klesha, adhyatmik klesha of this world. They are not touched by any of the shoka moha bhayapaha. Yasyaham vai shruyamanayam krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadhyate pumsam shoka moha bhayapaha. Volume 1, chapter 7, text 7, Srimad Bhagavad Puran. That when someone studies the Shastra and approaches Sri Hari with the mood of bhakti or devotion, then bhaktir utpadhyate pumsam shoka moha bhaya apaha. He becomes free from all the entanglements of this world. So although being in this world, nahi santihi karmani purva janma kritani chahi, they cannot touch him. He becomes like the person who enters the prison house, but he's not a prisoner. He can walk in and walk out anytime he wants. Then Sripad Adi Shankaracharya says, Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrit Gita amrita snanam samsara malanasham. Sakrit. Once. The word Sakrit in Shastra is very prominent. Sakrit. Once, do it properly once and look at the power. When Vibhishan came to offer his obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Ram, when he was in the sky, crossing over the ocean to come to Sri Ram, he was in the famous airplane. At that time, Sri Ramachandra, the one and only Lord of the whole universe, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Shri Ishvara Uvacha. Lord Shiva is speaking. When Mother Parvati is asking Parvati Uvacha, Keno Payena Laguna Vishnur Nama Sahasrakam Pattetair Panditay Nityam Shrotum Ichhami Aham Prabho. I want to hear what is the fastest way to chant the Kshirodanvat Pradeshe Shuchimani Vilasat Ityadi Vishnu Sahasranam. He says, don't worry. Just say Rama, Rama, Rama 3 times and you get there. So that Sri Ram, who's glorified everywhere, so beautifully glorified. Mata Ramo, Matpita Ramachandraha, Swami Ramo, Matsakha Ramachandraha, Sarvaswam me Ramachandro Dayalu, Nanyam Jane, Naiva Jane, Jane. The Rama Raksha Stotra describes Ram is the mother, Ram is the father, Ram is the friend, Ram is the master for everyone in the whole creation. Even Goswami Tulsidas in the Ramcharitmanas has described something very similar. Uma Ram Sama Jagahit Mahi, Guru Pitu Matu Bandhu Prabhu Nahi. Like Sri Ram, there is no one in this world who's as dear to our heart, as a well-wisher as Sri Ram. Even in the Gita, Krishna has said something very similar. That there is no one. I am everything. Gatir Bharta Prabhuhu Sakshi Nivasah Sharanam Suhurit Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijam Abhyayam. I am everything. I am the resting place. I am the father. I am the mother. Pitaham Asya Jagato. I am even the grandfather, Krishna says. So when that Sri Ram is approached by Vibhishan, at that time it is described, Sri Ram asked around, what should we do with this Vibhishan? Oh Sugriv, oh king of the monkeys, you tell me what has to be done with this Vibhishan. Sugriva said, kill him. Why? Because his brother is Ravan. On a neem tree, you cannot have a mango fruit. So when the neem tree of Lanka gives neem leaves in the form of Ravana and Kumbhakarna and Surpanakha, it cannot give a mango fruit called Vibhishan. Just kill him. And then Sri Ram looked around and asked opinions from others. And finally, when he came to Hanuman, Hanuman said, well, Sri Ram, the fact that he has given up his brother to come to you, that is enough reason for you to accept him. And also, Hanuman was very good with face reading. Out of the many mystic potencies that he had, as Atulita Baladhamam, Hema Shailabhadeham, Danuja Banakrishanum, Jnaninam Agraganyam, Sakala Guna Nidhanam, Vanaranam Adhisham, Raghupati Priya Bhaktam, Vatajatam Namami. That Raghupati Priya Bhaktam, that Hanuman, looks at the face of Vibhishan and he says, by whatever little face reading I know, he is very divine. He is very divine. Please accept him. So understanding the mood of Hanuman, Sri Ram accepts Vibhishan. And what does he say? He embraces Vibhishan and he says, I will wholeheartedly accept you. Everyone is shocked. At that time, Sri Ramchandra says, what to speak of Vibhishan? Even if Ravana comes here, even if Ravana comes here, and out of his 10 heads, he offers even one of his heads, not giving up in the fire sacrifice like he did to Lord Shiva, just offer obeisance to me. One obeisance, I will accept him. And at that time, Sri Ram said the words which started with Sakrit in the Valmiki Ramayana. Sakrit eva prapannoyas tavasmiti sayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etat vratam mama. Sri Ramchandra said, oh, I announced to the 14 planetary systems, Bhu, Bhuva, Suva, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, to all 14 planetary systems with Urdhva Bahu, with my arms raised, I proclaim, Sakrit, once, eva, only, certainly, prapannoyas. If someone offers their obeisances to me, namaskaram, as they say, pranati, pranamam, as they say in Sanskrit, to Sri Ram, once, and says, hey Ram, Tavasmi iti sayachate. Says, I belong to you alone. I have nobody else in this world except you. You are my Lord. Please accept me. Ishanam jagatosya venkatapate Vishnu param preyasim tadvakshasthala nitya vasarasikam takshanti samvardhinim padmalankrita pani pallava yugam padmasanastham shriyam vatsalyadi gunojwalam bhagavati vande jaganmataram. In the Venkateshwara Suprabhatam, we see the glories of Lakshmi being sung. But there, Venkateshwara is not going behind and building a bridge and fighting Ravana to get Padmavati back. But here Sri Ramachandra is doing all of that, and that too with an army of monkeys. So there cannot be anyone like Ram. So Sri Ram says, Tavasmiti sayachate. If a devotee begs once that I belong to you, abhayam sarvada tasmai, then he will offer obeisance only once, but eternally I promise I will make him fearless. And dadami etad vratam mama. This is my vrat. This is my promise that I give. So all the monkeys became really scared by this. Ram continued and he said, what to speak of Vibhishan? Even if Ravan comes and offers one of his heads, I will accept him. You will accept him? Yes, I will accept him. Not just accept him. I will make him the king of Ayodhya. Hare Krishna. The Ayodhya that Ram himself couldn't get. He is saying, I will give that Ayodhya to Ravan. The monkeys were all startled because even before killing Ravan, Sri Ram is saying, I am accepting Vibhishan and announcing him as the king of Lanka. But the king of Lanka is Ravan. No problem. If he comes, I will make him the king of Ayodhya. The monkeys scratched their head and said, that's a bigger problem. Because before you came, you instituted and installed Bharat as the king of Ayodhya. What if Bharat comes and offers obeisance? Ram said, Vibhishan offers obeisance, I will make him the king of Lanka. Ravan comes and offers obeisance, I will make him the king of Ayodhya. And if an Ayodhyapati Bharat comes and offers obeisance, I will make him Vaikuntapati. I will give him Vaikuntha. But the monkey said, my lord, this is a very big problem because Vaikuntapati is your position. So if you give Lanka to Vibhishan and you give Ayodhya to Ravan and you give Vaikuntha to Bharat, where will you go? Sri Ram said, when this Dasharath Nandan, Ayodhyapati, Sitapati Sri Ram has no place to go, I will happily rule the city of the heart of Hanuman. I will live in the heart of Sri Hanuman. I don't need any other place. So whenever the Lord uses the word Sakrit, it is very significant. Sakrit, once, but with intensity. So here also it has been described, Maline Mochanam Pumsam, Jalasnanam Dine Dine, Sakrit, Gita Amrita Snanam. So to elaborate the word Sakrit, we went to Ramayana. So Maline Mochanam Pumsam. Shankaracharya is saying, Sripad Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Maline Mochanam Pumsam. To clean the body, Jalasnanam Dine Dine. You have to bathe with soap and water. But what about heart? You can clean the body, but what about chitta? What about consciousness? The fish could be in water all day, but it stinks the most. And our consciousness is like that. We may take 3 sandhya bath, morning, afternoon, and evening. But what about the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madmatsarya inside? What is bathing it? Where is the soap and water to cleanse? Our soap doesn't reach there. Our dove doesn't reach there. Or whatever soap we use. It doesn't go there. But Shankaracharya says, Sakrit Gita Amrita Snanam. By Gita Amrita Snanam. Not just hearing it. Not just reading it. Not just memorizing it. Practicing it. Vyavahara Shastram. By practicing it, then Samsara Malanashanam. We say, what about the problems in this world outside? Well, the problems of the world outside is the expression of an internal problem. Because there is lust inside, because there is anger inside, because there is envy inside, because there is jealousy inside, because there is pride inside, most problems outside are a manifestation of an internal problem. Environmentalists are fighting about creating a very nice environment outside. Wonderful, we support that. But what about the internal environment? You can make the outside world pollution free, but inside there is pollution. Even if you clean it outside, in no time there'll be pollution outside. You can see the biggest wars, the biggest world wars, The biggest fights between nations, biggest fights between communities have just been because of ego, has been just because of aggressive deceit and duplicity. Only if we could cultivate humility and tolerance. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva shwapake cha pandita samadarshina. Where is that pandita samadarshina? From the Bhagavad Gita. Only one verse, if we can practice, life will become so simple. But when we don't practice that, it is a very big problem. Very, very big problem. So Shankaracharya is saying, Sripad Adi Shankaracharya is saying, Sakrit Gita Amritasnanam. Little. Even in the Bhaja Govindam, he says the same thing. Bhagavad Gita kinjidadhita, Ganga jalalava kanika pita, Sakrit eva murari samarcha, kriyate tasya na yamena charcha. How beautiful. Bhagavad Gita kinjidadhita. Remember the verse and practice it. Little bit. Even if one verse out of the 700. One verse. Manmana bhava madbhaktau madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvavam atmana matparayanaha. 934. Manmana bhava madbhaktau madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijani prayoshime sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishyami mashucha. 1865, 1866. Two verses. Very similar, yet different. One of them, a piece of them, we practice in our life. We make so much advancement in our consciousness. Sakrit. So it has been mentioned. So Bhagavad Gita kinjidadhita. Study and use it. Little, even if it is little. And Ganga jala lava kanika pita. And drink little. So study little Bhagavad Gita and practice it. Drink little Ganga jal, Ganga water. And third, Sakradeva Murari Samarcha. And worship Murari, Shri Hari, Shri Krishna with devotion. If you do these three things, what will happen? Kriyate tasya na yamena charcha. He will have no charcha with Yamaraj. He will have no charcha with Yamaraj. What will he see after death? Sashanka chakram sakirita kundalam sapita vastram sarasiruhekshanam sahara vakshasthalasho bhikaustubam namami vishnum shirasa chaturbhujam. This is what he will see. He will see the form of the Lord. But for that we need bhakti. Bhaktistu ananyaya shakya ahameva vidorjuna nyatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapaha. Gita. Whether we want to see the Lord, whether we want to know the Lord, or we want to enter the abode of the Lord, bhakti is needed. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanyashchasmi tattvataha. Gita. Bhakti has been glorified everywhere in the Gita. Chapter 6, text 47. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantar atmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Bhajate, root bhaja in Sanskrit means bhakti. Chapter 6, text 47. Mai asakta manaha partha, mana asakta, 7:1 Gita, which means bhakti. Krishna has said, by devotion, Daivi hyesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadhyante maya me tam tarantite. 7:14 Gita. Take shelter of me with devotion, I will take you across the ocean of birth and death, Krishna is saying. Even Venkateshwara, Balaji, Tirupati, we see how is he standing? With one hand, he places on his knees. And with another hand, he's pointing down. You see in his form? With one hand, he's holding his knee. And with another hand, he's pointing downward. To show all the devotees this wonderful lesson, he points down to show, if you take shelter of my feet, what happens? The samsara sagara, the ocean of janma mrityu jara vyadhi, which is drowning all of us, will become only knee deep. With another hand holding the knee, he's showing, if you take shelter of my feet, that bhavasagara, which drowns everyone to the head, will become knee deep. And when something is knee deep, you can cross over it. You can walk through it. So in this way, Sakrit Gita Amrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam. Then he goes one step ahead to say, Gita Sugita Kartavya Kim Anyai Shastra Vistarahi. There are so many scriptures, there are so many commentaries, there is Tika, there is this commentary, that commentary, then there is elaboration, then there is this bhashya, then there is that bhashya. There is so many elaborations of the school of Vedic wisdom. He's saying, Kim anyai shastra vistaraihi. What is the need to study any other shastra? Just study Bhagavad Gita, he's saying. Now, well, is this a fanatical statement? No, it is a practical statement. Why? If you have to go to a shop and you can cycle your way, you can sit on a bicycle and you can go to that shop, get whatever you want and come home. When you can do it with one cycle, why do you need 5 cycles? You don't need 5 cycles. You just need 1 cycle. So the aim of Bhagavad Gita is to meet Sri Hari, to get back to the eternal kingdom of Vaikuntha or Vrindavan. That is the purpose of Shastra. When Bhagavad Gita can give us that, towards the end Krishna says, Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidasyati bhaktim mai param kritva mame vaishyasi asamshayam. He will come to me, and of this there is no doubt, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who speaks about Bhagavad Gita, anyone who practices in his life and shares the secrets with others, Krishna says there is nasti atra samshayam. There is no samshaya. There is no doubt. He will come to me. Krishna says even in the 8th chapter, the same thing. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyatante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sadatat bhava bhavitah. He says, whatever you think at the time of death is what you will get. But what if you think about me? Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayam. Again, na atra samshayam. If you remember me at the time of death, I will come to take you, Krishna says. Acha, but the time of death is very difficult. At that time, we remember our near and dear ones. Chanakya Pandit has said, what do we remember at the time of death? Ashanam me, vasanam me, jaya me, bandhuvargo me, iti me chakurvan, kala vruko, hanti purushaja. He says very interestingly, Ashanam me, my eating, vasanam me, my clothing, jaya me, my wife, bandhuvargo me, my children, my friends. So at the time of death, this is what we are thinking. Because we have practiced thinking about all of this all of our lives. So at the time of death, what happens? Ashanam me, vasanam me, jaya me, bandhuvargo me. So me in Sanskrit means me. Mama me, mine. So ashanam me, the food is mine. Vasanam me, the clothing is mine, or the house is mine, the property is mine. Jaya me, the wife is mine. Bandhuvargo me, my children are mine, my friends are mine. But what happens? Iti me cha kurvana. In this way, while dying, what we are doing? We are doing meh, meh. Like a goat, we are doing meh, meh, meh. Mine, mine, mine. And what happens? Kalavrka, the wolf called death, is coming in. He finishes this goat. You see, such a nice pun has been played in Sanskrit. 2 meanings are there. Me means mine, and me also means a goat who makes that sound. So Krishna says, instead of being attached to all of this, all your life you perform bhakti. You read the Bhagavad Gita, come to me, chant my names. Krishna says, yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Of all the yajñas, the best yajna is to chant the holy name, to chant the names of Sri Hari. You see, in Kali Yuga, to perform a yajna is also very difficult. In my house, many, many years ago, when my grandmother left her body and the priest came to perform the last rites, not the last rites, but the Shraddha. After a few years, he came to perform the Shraddha. And he started chanting different mantras. And my grandfather is alive, so he was sitting and listening. And he stopped him in the middle. He said, hey, wait, what are you chanting? You are chanting mantras for a departed male. Here the female has departed. My wife has gone. I am still alive. He said, oh, is that so? Please forgive me. In most homes, the male dies first. So therefore, I thought it was a male and I started giving you Shraddha. He said, you're giving Shraddha. I am alive here. You're giving Shraddha for someone who's present here in the next chair. So in Kali Yuga, this is the situation. Mantratas chantratas chidram deshakal harha vastutah sarvam karoti nishchidram anu sankirtanam tava. In the Bhagavatam, Canto 8, chapter 23, in the story of Bali Maharaj and Vaman Dev, this has been mentioned, that We live in a generation where mantra, the mantras are chanted wrong. Tantra, the process is wrong. Mantratas, tantratas, chidram, they all have faults or holes or shortcomings. And desha, place has problem. Kala, time has problem. Rahu Kal, Ketu Kal, Shani Kal, we have all of these Kal. And place is also problem. Desha problem. Kala, Desha Kala, Arha. The person offering, the person receiving, both are having faults. And Vastu, that if everything is perfect, think about the quality of the ingredients that we put into the fire. Think about the ghee that we are putting in. Even Agnidev will come out and say, have some pity on me. What kind of ghee are you putting in me? So in Kali Yuga, everything has faults. Therefore, there is only one way which doesn't have, one thing which doesn't have faults. What is that? Sarvam karoti nishchidram. To fill all these faults, Anu Sankirtanam Tava. The chanting of the names of Sri Hari is the only way. Hare Murare Madhukaitha Bare Gopala Govinda Mukunda Shaure Yajnesha Narayana Krishna Vishnu Nirashrayam Mam Jagadisha Raksha. This is why in the culture that we live in, the names of the individuals are also the names of Sri Hari. You see in North India also, in South India also, in all parts of India, the name will be Ramanarayana. Or in South India, he may have name like Ramabala Subramanyam. You will have like Ananta Padmanabha Ramabala Subramanyam. It's almost like a address. But the whole concept is when you call out your sons, then you call out to Sri Hari. This is the whole concept. This is why the culture of chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, the culture of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the culture of chanting Rama Raksha Stotra or Narsimha Sahasranamam, all of these things are there so that we bring the name of the Lord on our tongue. Bhagavatam also describes Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan Asti Eko Mahan Gunaha Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangam Param Vrajet. Whatever generation that we are living in, there are too many negativities, but the way to save ourselves is to chant the names of Sri Krishna. Some people ask this question, oh, by chanting the names of Krishna, you think the coronavirus is going to go away? By chanting the names of Krishna, you think the problems of the world is going to go away? We are not promising that. We are not promising a change of circumstance. We are promising a change of consciousness. The circumstance that you are in externally may be the same, but your vision towards that circumstance will change. Instead of seeing it as a problem and going through the BMW motion. What is the BMW motion? With the B, we are always blaming. He did this, she did this, they did this, isne aisa kiya, usne waisa kiya. That is the B. Then with the M, we are always mourning. Always mourning and complaining. And with the W, we are always wailing. So the blaming, mourning, wailing syndrome that we are into, we all are into the BMWs of the present generation. But Bhagavatam says, by chanting the holy name, your internal consciousness will change. Circumstance may change or may not change. It may continue to rain, but you will learn to put the umbrella up so that you don't get wet. You will not get wet. So this is what is meant by Kimanyai Shastra Vistaraihi. When Bhagavad Gita is giving so much, what is the need to go anywhere? And Yaha Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukhapadma Vinisritaha. Very beautiful. Krishna is filled with Padma everywhere. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. His feet are like lotus, his hands are like lotus, his navel is also lotus, his eyes are like lotus, his face is like lotus. But Adi Shankaracharya says something very interesting. Even his lips are like lotus. Yahaswayam Padmanabha, he has a lotus navel, but Mukha Padma, he also has a lotus mouth. Yahaswayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padma Vinisritaha. And from that lotus mouth, the river of Ganga is flowing. Dear devotees of Sri Krishna on this call, I want to ask you a question. The famous river Ganga that we worship and we go and bathe, we in fact travel and bathe in that Ganga. Why do we bathe in the Ganga? Because she is the river who has originated from the lotus feet of Sri Hari. She touched the lotus feet of Vamandev and she has become Bhagirathi Ganga. Mandakini there has become Bhagirathi Ganga here. So if the river that touches the lotus feet of the Lord can become Ganga, What to speak of the river which is coming from the lotus lips of the Lord? That is the Gita. Yah swayam padmanabhasya mukha padma vinisrita. Acha. Now, very interestingly, Vyasadeva has placed this in the Mahabharata. So, Bharatamrita sarvasvam Vishnu vaktrad vinisritam Gita gangodakam pitva punarjanmana vidyate. When someone studies the Bhagavad Gita, Gita Ganga Udakam Pitva. So in the previous verse, we compared the Gita to the Ganga, and now that same thing has come here. Same example has come. Gita Ganga Udakam Pitva. If someone drinks the message of the Bhagavad Gita, Punar Janmana Vidyate, he will not have any other birth after this. The Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahudustare, Kripaya Apare, Pahi Murare, cut. Finished. Finished. After this, no more repeated birth. If we practice the Bhagavad Gita, if we memorize the Bhagavad Gita and don't practice the Bhagavad Gita and don't come to the conclusion of devotion, then these things don't hold true. These things don't hold true. But if we practice Bhagavad Gita to the essence of devotion and perform pure devotion for the pleasure of Sri Hari, then there is nothing to worry. This Bhagavad Gita, kim anyai shastra vistare. Why should we have another bicycle when we can go to the shop of Mukti Dwaram, Apavritam? And then Sripad Adi Shankaracharya says, Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugda Gita Amritam Mahat. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. All the Upanishads, the 108 Upanishads are all Gavaha. They are all like cows. And who is milking all these cows? Dogda Gopalanandana. This is very interesting because Krishna in his Vrindavan Leelas, he was a Gopal. He was a protector of cows and milker of cows. So he has very good experience with how to milk cows. Gopala balam bhuvanaika palam samsara mayam atimoha jalam yasho vishalam shishupala kalam balam mukundam manasa smarami. Who is he? Gopala balam. He is a baby. And yet, Bhuvanaika Palam, still he is the only protector and maintainer of the whole universe. He who is the maintainer cannot be a baby. He who is a baby cannot be a maintainer. All glories to Sri Hari, who can go Ano Aniyan, Mahato Mahiyan, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam, Jo Vidadhati Kaman, Kathopanishad. He can become smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest, heavier than the heaviest, yet lighter than the lightest. So Gopala Balam, he could be a baby in Vrindavan, yet Bhuvanaika Palam, he can maintain the whole world. And Samsara Mayam Ati Mohajalam, and his net of Maya in this world, if anyone gets into, cannot escape. The net of a fisherman or the net of a hunter to catch the birds, you can tear through that net. But Maya Shakti, you cannot. Impossible. Samsara Mayam Ati Mohajalam. He is crying for the breast milk of Yashoda, but look at what his Maya Shakti can do. And Yasho Vishalam, his Yasha, his fame is unlimited. And Shishupala Kalam, he is the death for Shishupal. Palam Mukundam Manasa Smarami. I bow down to that Sri Hari. So that cowherd boy of Vrindavan, when he decides to milk the cows of the Upanishads, you can imagine what nectar will come out. So Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana. The one who is milking is Sri Hari. And who is the first calf who gets to drink? Partha Vatsa. Parth or Arjun is sitting on the chariot in the middle of Kurukshetra. And he is the first calf who is drinking that milk. And Dugda Gita Amritam Mahat and Sudhir Bhoktaha and all the Dhira Purushas who read the Bhagavad Gita and Sudhir who practice the Bhagavad Gita, they are Bhokta. They are the tasters of this milk. Dugda Gita Amritam Mahat. But what is this milk? That is the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, finally, he says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani, Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Ekam, Ekam, Ekam. He makes it very simple. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is giving two options, Arjuna says, Tad Ekam Vada. Just tell me what to do. Just tell me one thing. So Adi Shankaracharya says, we'll tell you one thing. Ekam Shastram. If you want to hold one Shastra, Devaki Putra Geetam. Hold the song of God. How beautiful, you see. The name of the book is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavat. In Sanskrit, the word Bhagavat will now decline as Bhagavan, Bhagavanto, Bhagavantaha, which means the God, the Supreme Lord. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashashriyah, according to Vishnu Puran, he who is full in everything, he is Bhagavan. And that title has been given to Krishna. In the Vishnu Sahasranam, we can see Bhishma Dev speaks, Bhishma Uvacha, Yudhishthira speaks, Yudhishthira Uvacha, Vaishampayana Uvacha, Vyaso Uvacha, Arjuna Uvacha. All these speakers are speaking. Uvacha, 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 Uvacha. Huh? So beautiful. Uvacha. They are all speaking. And then finally what happens? What happens finally? When Parvati is asking, Parvati Uvacha. When Lord Shiva is speaking, Ishvara Uvacha. And only when Krishna speaks, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So therefore, when others speak the Gita, their songs, then it is called Gopi Gita, Rudra Gita, Bhumi Gita, Aila Gita. Only when Krishna speaks, it is called Bhagavad Gita. So Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. This verse gives very beautiful, very beautiful analysis. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. If there is one Shastra that has to be held, Devaki Putra Geetam. It must be the Gita given by Krishna. And Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. If you want to worship one Supreme Lord, don't confuse yourself. Just worship Sri Hari. And Eko Mantras. If you want to worship one name, Tasya Namani Yani. Worship the name of Krishna. Just worship the name of Krishna. In the Mukundamala Stotra also, Kulashekar Alvar has said the same thing. Krishno Rakshatuno Jagatraya Guru Krishnam Namadhvam Sada Krishnena Akila Shastravo Vinihata Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha Krishna Deva Samuthitan Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Tishtati Vishwameta Dakhilam He Krishna Rakshaswamam. Krishna, 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 Krishna. So Eko Mantras. If you want to hold one mantra in your mouth, Tasya Namani Yani. And Karma Api Ekam. Now you have to act also. This is why His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the ISKCON movement, whenever he translated in the Bhagavad Gita the word Bhakti, he didn't write it as devotion. He wrote it as devotional service. The act of offering service to Krishna. If the mother says, I love the child, but at night when the child is, crying, I will not serve the child. In my heart, I love the child, but I will not serve the child. Is that proper love? No, that's not proper love. Love means she will give up her sleep to take care of the child. So wherever there is devotion, wherever there is love, there must be active expression of that devotion. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada always translated bhakti not as devotion, but devotional service. There must be an act of rendering service to God, to Krishna. So therefore, karma api ekam. Tasya devasya seva. If there is one service that we have to perform, tasya devasya seva. Kasya devasya seva? Krishnasya. If there is some service you have to be performed, it has to be performed to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. This is why our beloved Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America in 1965, it is very interesting. He had generally when people come to UK or US, they come for education, they come for sightseeing, they come for uncontrolled enjoyment. Because in India, sometimes they can say, oh, I found your son there in the park with someone. Oh, I saw your daughter somewhere, right? In India, there's some boundary. But in UK, US, people like to travel because there's enjoyment. So when our Prabhupada came to America in 1965, he got to know that there is a sannyasi, an Indian sannyasi already in New York. So he went to meet him, said, maybe we can join hands to spread the message of the Bhagavad Gita. But at that time, the sannyasi there, he was dressed with a coat and suit and pant and hat. And, you know, in the olden times, you may have seen, they have like this this watch on the pocket with a nice chain coming out of it. They will, you know. So he had all of that. So Prabhupada looked at him and was confused, like he's a sannyasi. Why is he dressed up like this? But then that person was kind enough. He said, I'll offer you some food. And Prabhupada sat, some Krishna Prasad. But this man, he picked up his fork and spoon to fork and knife and spoon to eat. And Prabhupada had his bare fingers to eat. So Prabhupada said, why have you changed your attire and why are you eating with all of these things? He said, oh, Swamiji, your attire and your eating with fingers will not help. When in Rome, do like the Romans do. So when you're in America, you have to appeal to them. So don't be in your saffron robes. You have to adapt to their culture. So at that time, our Prabhupada fearlessly said, I have not come here to take, I have come here to give. I have come here to fearlessly give. And therefore, I don't have to adapt. And this is before he was famous, before instituting the ISKCON movement. And after becoming famous as the Acharya, who spread the Bhagavad Gita all over the world and gave the Bhagavad Gita as it is, English commentary. So whatever I'm speaking today is on the authority of his Bhagavad Gita as it is, that I was fortunate enough to read and hear from the lips of my superiors. So after he gave the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and spoke about it, and he came to UK, he was interviewed by a news reporter and said, Swamiji, why are you here in the UK? What do you have here? Why do you have to come here? So Prabhupada, now before becoming famous, he said, I've come here to give. Now look at his answer after he became famous. He said, oh, why I have come to London? Well, you Britishers, you ruled over in India for close to 200 years, and you took away everything from us. Like, for example, just as an historical fact, the peacock throne of Akbar, where is it? It is in the UK museum. Where is the sword of Maharana Pratap? It is in the UK museum. Where is the life-size painting of Shivaji Raje Bhosle? It is in the UK museum. So Prabhupada said, even the Kohinoor diamond you stole and you have it in the UK museum. So you guys ruled over India and took away everything from us, but you forgot to take one thing, that is the Bhagavad Gita. I have come to give you that so that you can loot us completely. So Prabhupada, even after he was famous, he said, I have not come here to take, I have come here to give. Not out of pride, but out of confidence in the words of the Bhagavad Gita. So dear members, dear devotees, dear fellow family and friends, I feel very, very grateful, honored and privileged to be in this association for close to 60 minutes now. And it's such a wonderful, inspiring group where you're inspiring each other to read, memorize and practice Bhagavad Gita on the basis of the commentaries and the devotional purports of the Bhagavad Gita. I somehow felt very, very thankful to the hosts and the inviting associates for kindly having me over for this discussion. I am not a scholar. I am not a historian. I am not a linguistic, scholastic person. I am a very simple person who's trying to learn the Bhagavad Gita, trying to practice the Bhagavad Gita. But I can say one thing. On what confidence am I opening my mouth and blabbering like this for 60 minutes? Mukam karoti vachalam, panghum langhayate girim, yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam. That on the power of the strength and the pure devotional current that we come from one teacher to another, whatever they have imparted is what, like a parrot, I'm trying to blabber and speak. I don't claim to be a teacher on this panel. I don't claim to be a realized person on this panel. All of you are superior in age and in spiritual wisdom. And I don't claim anything more than what my actual situation is. So if you find flaws in my discussion, there will be so many flaws. Please be like a swan, neglect the water of my falls and just accept the milk of whatever good, whatever inspiring points were presented. None of them are mine. They're all coming from the age-old tradition of teachers and students. So with that, I want to offer my heartfelt gratitude, obeisances, and prayers at the feet of all my superiors here. Thank you so much for so kindly having me on this call. Hare Krishna.
for enlightening us about the glories of Sri Bhagavad Gita. We'll ask everyone to please stand for Artik of Shri Shri Paramakaruna Nitai Gaurachandra. Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Parama Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Parama Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol
Shri Paramakarnitai Gaur Chandra Ki Jai. Jam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Tatar Sada Shishimad. His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Tatar Sada Shishimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Thakur Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namachar Shri Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Pushtam Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navdvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Gangamaya Chamanamaya Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Dev Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Gadarma Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Books Distribution Ki Jai, Brihat Mridanga Ki Jai, Shri Shri Paramakarnitai Gaur Chandra Ki Jai, Samavira Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembly of devotees, all glories to the assembly of devotees, all glories to the assembly of devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale, Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pashacharesh Tarini. Namaste Narashingaya Prahaladharaini Hiranyakashipurvaksha Shilatanakana Kalaini Ito Nrisimha Parato Nrisimha Yato Yato Yamita To Nrisimha Bahir Nrisimha Hridaye Nrisimha Narashingamarim Sharanam Prapare Tava Kara Kamala Varenaka Adbhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bhringa Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Tavakaravare Keshavareta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Keshavareta Narahari Rupa Jaya Nishingare, Jaya Nishingare, Jaya Nishingare, Jaya Nishingare. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakti Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri Paramakar Nitai Gaur Chandra ki. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we want to take this opportunity on behalf of the management here to thank each and every one of you for being here. For everyone, Hare Krishna. Just to acknowledge and appreciate all the devotees who have assisted to organize today's Sunday Love Feast. Within the Pujari department, we would like to express thanks to Shankar Prabhu, Dwarka Mataji, also Sanja and Pratisha Mataji for making garlands, Satyagopal Prabhu, Govinda, Mahindra for assisting to set up the song system, the temple room, and also to live stream the program. We want to express gratitude to the devotees in the kitchen department, Sanjeev Prabhu, Birendra Prabhu, and Radhikshore Prabhu for cooking for their lordships, the Kirtaniers, Har Kirtan Prabhu, Sukhdev Prabhu, Govinda. So thank you to all these devotees, also to His Grace Amarendra Prabhu for sharing and such a expressing, such a exciting and amazing glories based on Shankaracharya's glories or Gita Mahatmya verses. So thank you everyone for coming out this morning. Even though this time is busy for everyone, you don't have to tell us. We know it's everybody it's year end, and that's how it is. It's just about like 2 Sundays remaining for this year. So let's see who will make it to come for the last 2 Sundays of the year. So you have next Sunday, I think it'll be Christmas Eve. So that will be another. So Christmas Eve, and then it'll be the following Sunday, which will be, I think that will be the 31st. Yeah, so the 31st. So just 2 Sundays. So, but not to stray you here. On Friday coming, 22nd, we're having Gita Jayanti observance. So we'll be having an afternoon program beginning at 5 p.m. The program will be right in the temple room. For those of you who participated in Gita Jayanti programs before, we usually have Havan Kun or a Fire Yagya set up, and we all get the opportunity to come and sit around and pour grains, offer grains into the fire, as well as to recite the verses from Bhagavad Gita. So we're hoping to do the entire 18 chapters. So we are doing the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and you don't want to miss that. 5 o'clock we'll begin, and there's one more. A big part of it is Gita or Shastra dance. So we have a lot of books available, a lot of new books that came in recently, and among we have Bhagavad Gita here. So we have this Bhagavad Gita, which is a regular size, and we also have the pocket size Bhagavad Gita for sponsorship, for distribution. So before you go, if you would like to put in some orders, actually to give Bhagavad Gita on Gita Jayanti, it's tremendous blessings, it's tremendous benediction. It's the greatest thing we can do in the form of charity. As you know, everyone during this time is in a busy, in a season of giving. It's Christmas and all that. But I assure you, if you give Bhagavad Gita on Gita Jayanti Day, you can choose a friend, a work colleague, or even a stranger, someone you want to give them a nice present. Bhagavad Gita is, already we have heard so much glories about Bhagavad Gita. So let us use that to enhance our lives and also to share the knowledge with others. So as I said, Bhagavad Gita is available at cost price. You can, reach me downstairs afterwards, and you can let me know if you like to, you can order a few copies, or if anyone who may want, we can arrange to get it to them. That's not a problem. So we have the entire week, and actually throughout this entire month, throughout ISKCON world, we have an ongoing marathon. It's called the Book Distribution Marathon, where devotees go out go out of their way to give knowledge or to spread the teachings through the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books. So this is what is happening, and of course next Sunday when you come, we'll hear more about the Kirtan that is coming up. As you said, the Kirtan inauguration will be on the 25th evening, that's Christmas evening, and on the 26th Boxing Day, Kirtan will begin for the next 9 days. And you try as much as possible to participate, to come and join in these sessions. And of course, it is the greatest, it is the best way to usher the new year and to break the new year. So thank you everyone. Please take prasadam. Hare Krishna.